relief package.
A mutation of the coronavirus is causing countries to close their borders with the UK. I'm Ian Lee with what makes this new strain different.
And the two largest planets in our solar system put on a show that hasn't been seen in centuries.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Lawmakers are expected to vote today on the $900 billion COVID relief package. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. The bill finalized yesterday includes help for small businesses and a $600 check for most Americans. Now, the White House says the president looks forward to signing the bill. Direct checks could start going out in a few weeks. In Wilmington, Delaware, President-elect Joe Biden is expected to receive his first dose of the coronavirus vaccine on live television as a part of a growing effort to convince the American public the inoculations are safe. Well, the first doses of the Moderna vaccine could be given out today. They began shipping yesterday after the FDA authorized it for emergency use. The CDC panel is recommending that the next groups to receive the vaccine should be people ages 75 and older and essential workers, including teachers, first responders, and grocery store workers. Despite CDC guidance to stay home to avoid spreading the virus, travel is up ahead of Christmas. More than 1 million people have passed through airport checkpoints in each of the past 3 days. Well, after a very cold weekend, the work week is starting off on a bit of a warmer note. Michael Hayslip joins us with the first look.
You know, all things considered, we were above average temperature for both Saturday and Sunday.
Really? Because it sure was cold Saturday night, that's for sure.
Well, Saturday night it was, but still above average at the end of astronomical fall as we now begin astronomical winter. The winter solstice happening early this morning at about 4 a.m. And what a gorgeous start we're off to, and also, too, what a warm winter start we're off to, as we've already hit 53 degrees from the Freeman Health System sky camera in Joplin. How about some 60s that we're throwing up in Chanute and Iola, 54 in Monette, and 54 as well in Miami. A large part of that has been our shifting wind going back and forth all morning long. Now, eventually, as you can tell, it's settling in from the northwest right there. That's why our temperature is probably about as high as we're going to see for the afternoon hours. But it's pretty impressive to have 60 degrees on that first day of winter. Future track, wonderful today. By the way, why don't we just bump up the temperature for tomorrow and go mid-60s on Tuesday. Now, we will have developments by the time we get into Wednesday, and that will be the emergence of a cold front. But right now, we're looking like we're going to be able to keep that simply as rain. That's the key factor. All eyes on Thursday morning, because I know that's going to be a big travel day as well. Tanya, coming up here in just a little bit. Jupiter, Saturn, conjunction, 6 to 7 p.m. What does it mean? I'll tell you the best time to get outside your 4-state yard and take a look at it.
All right. Looking forward to that, for sure. Thanks, Michael. Well, Pittsburgh State University held its annual Wreaths Across America dedication ceremony this past Saturday. ROTC Captain Eric Leon gave a speech, and representatives of each branch of the military hung wreaths at the PSU Veterans Memorial. The dedication is different from Memorial and Veterans Day. Captain Leon says it's more of a teaching moment to the public and younger generations of the sacrifices of veterans who gave their lives and those still serving. Oklahoma investigators say they want to expand the search for bodies of victims in the Tulsa Race Massacre. State archaeologists confirmed investigators believe more than 30 sets of remains may be buried at the Oaklawn Cemetery. She says they want to search an area that's almost 5 times the size of the trench dug in October. Well, a new strain of the coronavirus is causing concern among health officials in the United Kingdom. More than 30 countries have now banned or restricted travel from the UK. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
It was a mad dash to the exit as travelers tried to flee London. The UK went into a strict lockdown on Sunday after a mutant strain of the coronavirus caused cases to spike.
Given the early evidence we have on this new variant of the virus, the potential risk it poses, it is with a very heavy heart, I must tell you, we cannot continue with Christmas as planned.
Much of England's southeast, including London, is the epicenter of the new outbreak. Health officials say this latest strain is 70% more transmissible, and hospitals are being overwhelmed. The news caused chaos at borders as countries closed their doors. Germany, Italy, and Canada join a long list of countries banning flights from the UK. France also put the brakes on travel. Now thousands of trucks with holiday goods are stuck at crossings.
While the vaccine spreads more easily, it doesn't appear to be more deadly, and doctors believe the vaccines should work against it.
This is not the time to panic. In all likelihood, this is just another mutation that leads to another strain, and that is what we have seen throughout the pandemic.
Currently, World Health officials have discovered 4,000 mutations of the coronavirus. So far, the 2 approved vaccines are believed to prevent all of them. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
As for the United States, travel with the UK still remains open. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, a celestial appearance not seen since the Middle Ages. And later, we're making Frosty the cheese ball in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Bundle up and head out tonight for a holiday light show of cosmic proportion. Tonight, the 2 largest planets in our solar system align in a way that hasn't been seen in centuries and won't likely happen again in our lifetimes. Mark Strassman takes a look.
Astronomer Christopher Dupree is about to see something hidden from Earth since Galileo first pointed his telescope at the stars.
Wow, they're both in the finder. I've never seen that before.
Our solar system's 2 biggest planets in one viewfinder. That's Jupiter down to the right, Saturn up to the left. All month, just after sunset, skywatchers have captured the pair of planets slowly coming together in the southwest sky. Tonight, they'll overlap, appearing to merge into a single source of light, an astronomical conjunction.
It's a very slow motion crash.
Whereas in actuality, how close are they?
Oh, they're hundreds of millions of miles apart.
It has to do with orbits and tilts and cosmic clockwork.
Yeah, it's like a big machine that's just running forward, and on the 21st is when all those pieces are aligned just right for these 2 planets to get really, really close.
That big machine is our solar system, constantly in motion. Every 20 years, Jupiter laps Saturn, and both planets line up with Earth.
It is true that these 2 planets did come close, actually 20 years ago, but you couldn't see them up in the sky. They were too close to the sun. The big difference here is that you can actually see them after dark, and that's what's unusual about it.
The last visible conjunction this close was in 1226, nearly 800 years ago. Tonight's falls on the winter solstice, like a Star of Bethlehem for Christmas week 2020.
Since the whole solar system is this kind of clockwork, you can wind the clock back for thousands of years and you can see where planets would have been at a time in the past. Kepler is one of the astronomers who actually hypothesized that the Star of Bethlehem could have been a planetary conjunction.
These 2 wise men are smart enough to know we need clear skies tonight.
If there are clouds in the sky, you're stuck with it. You know, if you can go out the night before or the night after, it'll still be an impressive sight.
And won't happen again for 60 years.
Mark Strassman, CBS News,
Decatur, Georgia.
Astronomers say no telescope is needed tonight, just your own curiosity. Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Have you ever built a snowman? If you have, I bet it's nothing like the one we're building today. And ours will never melt.
First, Michael Hayslip returns with your complete forecast.
Welcome to winter 2020 as we had the winter solstice over the 4 states at 4:02 Central Standard Time this morning. And the great thing is the conjunction of not only Saturn and Jupiter, but also the winter solstice and the push into the age of Aquarius, for those of you who pay attention to that, going to be absolutely perfect for the rest of the week because we've got beautiful blue skies and clear nights over the 4 states. Now, this is an anomaly if I've ever seen one. You want to talk about starting off winter, and we've already registered a 54-degree temperature at Joplin Regional Airport. We should be about 46 degrees here on December 21. We're not going to challenge the record of 69, but it is going to be a delightful afternoon. Nice warm temperatures with plenty of sunshine and the wind shifting from the northwest. So let's talk about what we're going to have happen tonight and really the best time to see it. This is from our good friends at timeanddate.com, most reliable source that I use, especially during the morning show when we talk about what planets are visible. So what we've done is I kind of isolated this in between 6 and 7 o'clock tonight. We'll have sunset at 5:05. You got about an hour where it's going to be really visible. Now, as the time goes on throughout the night, that's when it's going to sink toward the horizon. So we've put this at about 6:20 this evening. There's Saturn right there. And to give you an idea, the moon is going to be up here by Aquarius. But if you look at the surrounding constellations that we have right there, we'll flip over and look at where Jupiter is located at that exact point in time. Therein lies the conjunction. And the great part about it, like I said, in between 6 and 7, you don't need a telescope. You don't need binoculars. It's going to look like one beautiful, brilliant, glowing star. Now, if you do have the opportunity and have a telescope or binoculars, I strongly encourage you to grab those and especially let the kids see them, because you can actually see the moons of the two planets as they come together. It's a beautiful, wonderful sight, and you know, this happens once every 400 years or so, so let's take advantage of it while we can, because all that cloud cover, it's going to remain out to the west, and our temperature is certainly not going to be too bad tonight to be out and about for this time of December. We've got a cold front that is originating right now over the Rockies, hasn't made its way over the mountaintops as of yet, and we keep all our precipitation for the next couple of days up toward the Great Lakes into the northeastern portion of the United States. So as we dip into tonight, if you're interested, once again, sunset at 5:05. Best shot's going to be in between 6 and 7 for that planetary view. And not only are we going to have warm temperatures this afternoon, but why don't we just keep on that trend for Tuesday? As a matter of fact, Tuesday, we're going to throw up some mid-60s by the time it's all said and done. But the big factor that we're watching right now, especially for travel, is going to be Wednesday into Thursday, because we've got a cold front that's going to sweep in and begin to squeeze some precipitation out of us for, say, about Wednesday afternoon. Now, you run a number of different models here, and a lot of it just remains as rain. I'm going to play worst case scenario just to be on the safe side with everybody. We see a little sliver of snow, try to dive in here Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night, maybe lasting until Thursday morning. So I'm not going to be surprised if we don't see some snowflakes, but here's the key factor. You go back over the weekend where we had 50s, 60, 60, 50 right there. It's going to be hard pressed for any of that to be able to stick around. That being said, it is still going to be a chilly Christmas Eve and a chilly Christmas, but Christmas, for everybody who wants to get outside and enjoy those toys, guess what? We're going to go sunny skies, just going to be a little cool.
Nice. I'm enjoying a little bit of a warm-up before we get to that cool down part for Christmas.
Like I said, Wednesday will be our talker for the rest of the week. That's what we will concentrate on with, I know, a number of people that are trying to get from point A to point B.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Michael. We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Staff Sergeant Keith Daniels in the U.S. Air Force. The Redfield, Kansas native joined the 456th Air Bomb Group with the 15th Air Force from 1943 to 1945. He flew 50 missions over Italy as a tail gunner on a B-24. To Keith Daniels, we thank you, our four-state hero. Bet you've never built a snowman like this. Howard shows us his unique take on a favorite party appetizer with Frosty the Cheese Ball in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
With today being the official start of winter, I started thinking about how much fun I had as a kid building snowmen. My brother and I would make them so tall that they would tower over us. Now, even though I'm grown up, I still like making snowmen. That's why today we're building an edible snowman that I think should show up at your next get-together. Come on, let me show you how easy. We start by combining some cream cheese with a bit of mayo, some bacon bits, chopped walnuts, scallions, and some chopped parsley. And to give this its wow factor, we added some horseradish and a bit of crushed pepper flakes. Once it's mixed, we divide it into 3 balls, a big one, a medium-sized one, and a small one. These will become the body of the snowman. And to give our snowman some personality, we decorated with some olives for eyes, a carrot for the nose. We'll give it a smile with an olive and some pretzel sticks for the arms. Go ahead, get creative. And after you surround it with some cut-up veggies for dipping, it's time to dig in. Not only is this adorable and a great conversation starter, it's pretty addictive too. To get the recipe for what we call Frosty the Cheese Ball, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with our little elf Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fun holiday way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4 state market prices.
Hard to beat this for the first day of winter 2020, as we'll even see temperatures that'll be able to make it into the 60s later on today. A warm one tomorrow. We're still looking at Wednesday night into Thursday as the cold front drops in just in time for Christmas Eve. Now over to Dow with a look at what's coming up tonight at 5.
Yeah, at 5 every year at Christmas, some of the most popular toys sell out. This year, there's a spike in online shopping, which is leading to a shipping backlog from overseas suppliers. We're going to look at the supply and demand. Plus, a Joplin woman receives a stem cell transplant in St. Louis, setting a record for them and keeping her alive as she battles leukemia. We're going to bring you her story. And a Joplin company talks about an increased use of dry ice and how they handle the demand. Hope you join us. KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dow. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at Noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.